So, let me. Okay. You're live now?
Yeah, we're live now, mate.
Okay, go on.
Good evening, everybody. Coming from Scotland this evening. Travel this afternoon. The upper days. Hopefully I'll get round to seeing Kip sometime this weekend while I'm up. But tonight I've got Days with me and Peter. As always, we'll put the link in for anybody to open it up and let anybody to join. How are you, Peter?
I'm doing great, man.
Days? Obviously sat up to the side of me.
How are you doing, Dino, man?
Fine, it's a bit strange, mate, but...
I wish I could be there, guys.
I do, mate. I really do.
I see a nice little spot there in the middle where I could sit, so...
All sat here with a nice long spliff. And...
Just as long as I don't have to shave my head to get over there.
You're not super bothered. I've done it because it was fading. It was fading, so that's come off. And it's too hot as well at the moment.
I do the same, man. I just get the fucking trimmer out and it's gone.
Just get it off because it gets. I don't know about you, but I get to a certain length, and it seems to be itchy all the time. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's mine so thick. So, well, it used to be thick. And it's like builds a lot of heat up, so it's like I'm itching because of this. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I usually have it this length anyway. I mean, I'll let it grow for a few months and then sod it off. I'm just trying to get YouTube on.
Oh, guys, I had the long hair, I had the short hair, all kinds of hairs, but this one I like the most. Short.
I've never had long.
Practical.
I've never had long. Never. I don't know why it's never crossed my mind. Well, actually, I'm lying. It did actually cross my mind because I did try once and I got bored and shaved it off.
Oh, okay.
It gets to that stage, you know, where you just cannot do anything with it.
In between, sort of,
Yeah.
what you're going for and what you're ready at.
Yeah, it's sort of like long but not long.
Oh,
And you
just
just can't do anything with it, can you?
Yeah.
Well,
I just meant to just chop a wee bit off my hair. Just stay like a wee bit, and then and then I'd done it up to like here, but it looked like so stupid, man. So I just
I can't do the fading anymore. The shaving is not a problem. And you've got Blazing and James is in the evening chat.
How are you doing?
Hope you're all well. As I say, I'm up in Bury, Scotland with Days, and hopefully Kip over the weekend sometime, if we can get hold of him.
Aye, try to get all my day, but I don't know what he's up to. Hopefully he gets all days tonight, eh? If not tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll catch up with him.
I'm sure he's all right. Just taking a couple of days off, right?
Yeah.
I well earned, therefore.
Blazing's just saying he used to have long black hair
Oh, really?
back in the day. Longer. Sorry, I'm very tired. Sorry, Blazing. I've been up for a couple of days now. What a bleeding awful day travelling today to get up here.
Now you get baldy here.
You got a 3-hour delay on coach. Just my luck.
Just 3 hours.
Yeah. All this was over a disabled ramp that wouldn't go back into position. And when they don't go back into position, you're unable to drive the bus.
Hmm.
The optic sense there, I'm going nowhere. But it took some engineer 3 hours to suss that out.
I don't know. I don't know if it was your latest video you post where you were in the moors.
Sorry?
Right?
Aye, the video on the Moors thing.
Oh, yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh,
Lovely
man,
out there, man.
you ought to see the state of my legs.
Yeah, I believe that.
I got ripped to pieces, mate. It was, what happened, we were chatting as we were walking. So instead of turning left, I turned right on a footpath.
Yeah.
Which cuts approximately 2.5 miles off my walk. So I decided I was going to jump over this stile on a fence and cut through. And it was a bad mistake.
Yeah, nature is a bitch. Great.
Oh, mate, I was more on the floor than I was on my feet. Put it that way.
Stick to the Moors.
When you look at the grass, so it looks flat.
Stay off the Moors.
You don't realise that it's 3 foot deep and full of divots. Oh, mate, I was taking like 3 paces, 4 paces, and I went flap. Straight off there. So I'll never do that again. I'm sticking to footpaths up there when I go back up there.
Right, we're going down. Me and the band are going to get down. Kick off our wee European holiday, sort of. Get down the. What do you call those moors? What do they call it? The Pennines?
West Pennine Moors.
West Pennine Moors is being pronounced a lot better than myself, and then hopefully go over and get Heineken with our man Peter and all, you know what I mean? So, watch that space. And
Yeah, I was just saying.
British, you know what I mean?
I was just saying to Peter, I'm going to try and aim for later on in the year because things sort out and that. So for me, it'll be later on in the year when I can get over to Peter.
Alright, moving forward.
Yeah, guys, you're always welcome. I got a small place, but you're always welcome here.
Thank you very much. Same goal over here, buddy. You're always
Cool,
welcome.
man.
We've got loads of spaces between us.
And we're getting right in this camping scene and all, aren't we? Especially with this weather.
Camping and hiking. Getting back
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, it's time to take a look at life again, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's
The
not-
lowlands is perfect for walking. It's all flat.
You are right.
No hills over here.
Bloody hell. All my
Fucking hell.
it's all hills around here, me. Even my street's on a hill.
Yeah, you're mad. Totally different, isn't it?
Nothing like that here.
Yeah. Blazing was just saying he was blonde. Not black hair. It's mean Blazing, it's just, I'm tired, mate. And, yeah, I do enjoy the weather. You notice that I let the sun out the coach doors when I come up. So, you can thank me for that one.
Oh, cool. I can see Stevie is in also. James is in. Go.
James, that's what I was doing actually. I was putting the link under if you want to jump in again, James, and Blazing jump on if you want, mate.
More the merrier.
I'm gonna try to multitask here. That's not my best thing. Alright.
It's not mine at the moment.
Looks like Stevie B's internet is a bitch.
Being a bit. No, he is a bit.
Oh, being a bitch, yeah.
Right. I just realised I was live on that. I told you I was tired. That wasn't a bitchy comment, Steve. Honest.
Saucing them out.
I'm just tired and words are coming out, man.
Oh, Kendall's there as well. Kendall, you're welcome to join.
I'm sticking to the tired excuse, me, definitely. It's working today, so.
Stevie knows if you like, man, he's one of the boys.
In it, he knows we have fun. I'm just struggling at the moment trying to paste the link up. Nothing's working in my head proper. There you go, the link's up. So you can jump in anytime you want. Kendall's up. Kendall, the link's underneath if you want to jump on, mate. We're just having a Friday evening general chit chat, really.
Kendall's a martial art. Was it Kendall?
Kendall. Yeah, Kendall is. Yeah.
Should have stuck into it.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
I was always interested in that. Obviously, I never went and done it, but it always appealed to see that sort of. And Leonardo out of Turtles, because he had the fucking stick, didn't he?
Yeah. I know, I never actually got into Teenage Mutant Turtles, and it was,
I see.
I'm a bit too long in the tooth for that one.
Losing out now, but so, Kendall, is that where the name came from, the actual martial art, or am I just being nosy?
I'm not sure, actually. I wasn't really into all martial art films, me, at all. Like I said, I went through a really long, very long stage. Almost 10 years of not watching TV.
Have you seen what's the one with Enter the Dragon?
Yeah, I'll see that to the Dragon.
Did you like Enter the Dragon?
I don't know.
No.
Tell you the truth. Truthfully, I can't remember it. It's that long ago. I mean, what's that now? It's 80s, isn't it? Enter the Dragon. Was it late 80s, early 90s? I think it was something like that, wasn't it?
Late 80s, I think, man. I'm not too sure.
It's,
that's probably the best of the most quality, isn't it? What martial arts film. Good place to start, not me.
Yeah. Is it my eyes going funny, or is the writing, like, funny?
No, I know what to do. I can bring things up a bit, because I've not got the right resolution on this computer. But it's just I can make it like a little bit bigger. That's what I say to all ladies.
That's better. I can read it now.
Hold on, needs to come out.
I'm in a bad condition here, me. I should be asleep. I'd probably sleep on a clothesline.
You're sleepwalking.
Right, no, see that's the trade-off with computer, really.
The thing is though, Peter, I'll probably not get to sleep because of the heat. You know what I mean? So I'll be
Oh yeah, I have to say, man. I got the same problem.
I'll take over reading the comments if you want.
I'll try. It's just.
I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I'm doing two things at the same time, and I'm not a woman.
It's not bad. It's my eyes, mate. It's can't.
Even I can bring this over a bit actually. If we're not going to hit the slides or anything like that.
The failing, my eyes are failing at the moment.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. There we go.
Well, I can see James has joined the chat, and Kendo is about to. But he's just grabbing a bite to eat. So.
James jumped on with us, hasn't
he? He joined. I cannot see him.
Hello, I'm in the
James.
Hello.
Hello.
Can hear you now.
We can hear you, but we cannot see you.
Did you say you were in the shed then?
Yes, I'm in the shadows.
We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that.
He's hiding.
There you go.
Okay.
Evening.
Evening, man.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight, mate?
Not bad. Burnt to bits.
Sorry?
I'm burnt to bits.
You burnt to bits?
Yes, a redhead shouldn't go out in the sun.
I've been stuck in a coach there when you've been lucky enough to grab the rays. It doesn't come through a coach roof. The worst journey I've ever had, honestly. It was awful. The coach absolutely stunk of like a, what do they call it? It is a trawler's yard, isn't it? It just smelled like a trawler's market. It was awful. I hope it's not like that on the way home. Otherwise I'm staying here. I don't think it's that bad. Is there anything you want to chat about, Peter? You know, bring up?
Oh, James?
Well, it's either the plane or Gaza, I think.
Aye, that's two good places to start. What one is the first alphabetically? Gaza?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Who's first alphabetically as well?
Go on.
It's a fucking outrage. That's what it is. What's happening over there?
Definitely, mate.
It's a subject I've been trying to. I don't know, I shouldn't really, but I've been trying to stay away from it, mate. I'm sick of the same fucking pictures of babies with fucking bullet holes in their heads and
Do you think, how, see in this day and age, right, how can we trust images and video anymore, do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah, I do.
See that like the dog stuff, like, sure, a lot of people must know what I'm on about. Where do we differentiate, do you know what I mean? How do we know, I mean, that's bullshit, or that's a true event, I mean, it's been photographed or videoed, or, do you know what I mean? Because see all these things that we're seeing here, that we are seeing, all these terrible things, fucking veins of guns to their heads and all that, and you fucking literally couldn't think of anything worse, you know what I mean? You can't think of anything more terrible in life, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know, both ends most fucking manipulate propaganda. I mean, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, you know what I mean? But Israel got a disgrace. I'm not one for like even nation states like that, because I think it's all a global overarching agenda, but I would boycott their goods, and I can't speak well enough about it. I mean, I'll condemn it.
Yeah.
Right away.
I'm just, sorry, I'm sort of reading comments as well as listening to you at the same time. I'm just trying to read that what Stevie read, but I can't see it. I feel awful, mate. My head's in bits. I can't see. That's how tired I've gone. But I don't feel tired, if you know what I mean. I think I've passed the point of tiredness, and it's just.
Oh, you need the mic, I can see.
No, yeah, I am.
I paused the video for a moment. I'm waiting for my lappy to render a video, and editor will jump on once he's done, as I think that's what's killing the internet stream.
Alright, no problem, Steve. He's going to join us in a bit.
No
bother. What's your proper thoughts on it, apart from it's a disgrace, Peter? Or James, even. How do you feel about it?
It's not a disgrace, it's an absolute fucking outrage.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are these
Fucking
people
outrage,
getting away with this? How are they getting away with it? I just don't get it.
It's war crime after war crime. How is that fucking possible? Seriously.
Well, they signed up to the Nuclear Proliferation Act yet.
Well, the Israelis claim it's in self-defense, but I highly doubt that.
And they've never drawn up borders for themselves either.
No.
The Israelis have never drawn up a border. So
Wait.
That's why they keep taking more and more land.
I get confused me with this. Like Palestine is the true land, isn't it?
It's a fucking see the whole
Palestine is a region. It isn't a land or a country. It's a region.
Right.
Can of worms, man.
It's just, like I said, we had it working in full gears and whatever. Sort of like struggling to piece it together. That's why I'm a bit stuttery and.
See the whole subject. It's the kind of thing that you think you understand it, right, and then one day you watch a video and go, I feel. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? You're like, right, more that I need to fucking research, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
But if what's going on now, like current political, current military reality,
Yeah.
there's no fight back, is there? There's no other team that's got the same sort of fucking weaponry around like that fighting that back, is it? Do you know what I mean? You're going to know a lot, fucking, you know what I mean?
But let's face it, I mean, probably the biggest weapon they've got is a bleeding rifle.
Aye.
Or an old grenade, or
Aye.
probably an old mortar or something like that. Nothing capable of shooting planes down properly, really.
How easy would it be for them to go, Hamas are doing this and Hamas are doing that, when it's not
Well,
actually Hamas,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they're actually creating your enemy. You know what I mean? Like saying, oh, they're firing this, so it gives them a excuse to do what they're doing.
It's like
you know what I mean?
brainwashing propaganda, isn't it? It's just, it's because there's so many people I see that are watching TV and that's the life. So that's what I see they're getting away with it.
They don't get that information anywhere
I think
else.
a lot of people sort of confuse real life with TV, amalgamate the two together, and sort of get completely confused, so they completely believe everything that people tells them, and you understand what I mean?
Totally.
It's, I know you can, it's like, I've noticed when you sit there and you watch somebody watching, say, like EastEnders, Coronation Street,
Think
stuff like that.
the term infotainment, but they're quite, like the, you know, like, I don't know, it's filling some sort of hole, you know what I mean, and it's just like a fucking intellectual bubblegum, you know what I mean, like, without actually, you know what I mean, doing it to everyone, processing the information yourself and then cross-referencing it, or just sticking on the mainstream media, you know what I mean, and then just believing whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I won't stand there and say, right, this is how it is, and that is how it is. I'll say, well, if you're interested, look for this and look for that.
Different ways of looking at it.
Yeah.
Right, instead of saying this is the truth.
Yeah. I'll say, look at this, look at that. Pick out prominent names from your videos or whatever you're doing and research the prominent names. And then see where that leads you. Places. How I do it. I've done a lot of it at the moment.
Somebody's on that news or whatever, they're trying to tell you something, it's a good idea to say, right, well, what's their angle, what are they trying to sell me? I mean, what's their agenda? I mean, what could they seek to gain out of that? You know what I mean? Why are they trying to put that idea in my head? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I suppose looking back at it, I think that's why I had so much problems with school and getting fucking kicked out all the time and that, because I didn't agree with the ways and I didn't agree with what they were telling me. A few exams I've had put in front of me and like, these questions don't work out. And then I have to collect tests up because they didn't work out. I was trying also, so I actually think we're on about number 14 or 15 questions and there were like 60 others of them.
Yeah. My physics teacher, Mr. Devlin, he gave me a punishment exercise for asking how electricity was generated in the jungle because he thought it was acting the class point. What a fucking dickhead, you know what I mean? That's what you're up against.
Why did you generate it in jungle?
Generator.
I left that out because it was so obvious. So I fell right into that.
Smoke. Nice fucking.
I walked right into that one then.
I walked into it, man.
And it's got ISS took over an army base
Full of machine
guns in Iraq. That's Blazing Stars just said that.
Do you know what the sort of thing with that is? They've moved from being a terrorist organisation and they've been an army, and they're defined as an army.
Do you not think he's got out of control their side? You know, like how they, I look at it, it's like CIA and all that that's made these terrorists, paid from, trained from, all that shit.
Aye.
Do you not think there's a possibility they may straight away now and doing their own thing?
I've got an extreme viewpoint on these things. I don't think that they're all real events. I think if you follow the Occam's razor, like the thing, all things considered, the thing that's easiest is usually the thing that's happening. I think it's easier for fake events to be broadcast as real events by a relatively small team of dark occultists who know what they're doing.
Oh, it's video editing and everything. It's so easy and there's been so many
I'm not saying every single.
No, yeah,
single
no,
event.
yeah,
I'm saying there's a lot of it, man.
Yeah. Well, that's been proven with all these crisis actors, haven't they? And they're showing up in the same different scenarios.
I would say they mix up the MO, not they mix up the modus operandi so that it gets the groups in fighting with each other. You know what I mean? Like people who are like into the playing theory, or people who are no playing theory. Just for a small example, gets it. You know what I mean? Gets the groups divide and conquer. You know what I mean? Get them fucking concentrating on the micro. Do you know what I mean? Instead of looking at the bigger picture. Do you know what I mean? When you look at who benefits from it anyway, does it matter? Do you know what I mean? Whether it was real planes or infrasound, or does it matter whether this happened, or I mean the Lusitania? Do you know what I mean? Does it look at the events that transpire after back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, but the problem right now is that everything seems to be faked, or hoaxed, or complete setups.
Aye.
And I do not agree with that. I think you have to differentiate between a false flag, a setup, and a complete hoax.
No.
And a part of the truth movement, or however you want to call them, is messing up.
Sensationalizing it.
Everything is fake now. Everything is fake. Nothing is real anymore. They don't believe anything anymore, and that's not right.
Subjective and objective.
That's rejecting everything that you see. That's just shutting you off of reality, I think. Because these things do happen in reality. That fucking plane did come down. They did shoot down a fucking plane. I'm 100% convinced of that. It's a classic false flag what they used in this case with the MH17, and you cannot compare it with a local event like Sandy Hook or Boston bombing, where it's a very local event meant to go for the American population to go for the guns or whatever agenda they have behind that. And it seems to me that the conspiracy theorists out there are mixing this stuff up on purpose, just to dilute this shit into nothingness. So where you cannot discuss it anymore, where you cannot discuss proof anymore, because it's all fake, and it's not all fake.
Yeah.
You were watching earlier, and that looks as if he's been purposefully ridiculous in order to make anybody that's looking into that sort of subject appear foolish. Do you know what I mean? There's really isn't
very much so, yeah.
Like, how funny, Fukushima.
Somebody talking about Fukushima, man, and he's fucking every second word out of his mouth on obscenity, and he's like giving it all that with his hands. And
oh yeah, he's landing multiple helicopters while he's talking.
Definitely. We've got to be aware of that, yep.
He's
Sensationalising everything. Wow, at the start of titles, must see, you know, all that sort of stuff, isn't it? Looking to cash in on these sort of situations, looking to become a personality in this sort of situation, low's got the low fucking dash round the belly, you know what I mean? They're to be contented with themselves.
Yeah, and it muddies the water. It doesn't give a clear picture anymore. So where people used to go to YouTube or LiveLeak or wherever to find some factual truth, it's just getting diluted into fucking hoaxes and fake shit. It's not real anymore.
You don't know what you believe anymore.
That's not true. That's not fact. That's not real. That's what they want you to believe, and I think that's a nefarious plan from those guys who do this shit. So I suspect very much that this is a setup plan, like the Dabu 7 shit and the I don't know who, Max Malone and Montegraph and all those guys. You know, they're I don't know what the fuck they're up to, but it's no good.
There's a very specific reason, Peter. And it's to do with the difference between how you view life and an objective or subjective reality. You know what I mean? If you can say that you can identify objective reality, you know what I mean, to say what truth is, you know what I mean? It's that you are sovereign over your authorship, your authority, your life, you know what I mean? So if you haven't got that anymore, and we haven't, if they want to put us in a position where we can't understand what's real and what's not real, that's their ultimate goal.
I believe, yeah, and that's heinous. That's dangerous even, because if you declare it within a fucking day that it's all fake and hoaxed, then what's the point in looking at this shit anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why should we dig up any evidence? Why should we dig up any proof? Because it's not there, it's all fake, it's not real, you know? So they just, I don't know. It's one big fucking distraction of the reality.
So
and it's worse. It's getting worse now. It's real bad at this moment.
I'll tell you what makes me laugh. These that do the, like decoding films and things like that. Got one guy, I won't say his name, but he's always turning around and saying it's his initials, it's his daughter's initials, it's his mum's initials, things like that. But then it's right.
Is it the ones that do the symbology and all that? And
yeah, like,
numerology, and this is going to happen in the
the latest one was, they'll probably give it away this, but the latest one was Transformers.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm not saying the guy's name, right, but it's like stuff like that.
Looking too far into things, like to try and pull something out of it.
It can, and when people come across them videos that aren't locked in as much as we have, it can put them off straight away, you know what I mean?
All the sort of Mark Dice
fashion.
thing.
Like Mark Dice and Alex Jones and that.
Right.
Well, it's just getting next thing to showman. Well, Jones is a showman.
And that's it, you know. Jones also started out with a lot of truth and a lot of fact. Yeah, he taught me action, reaction, solution, or whatever, you know. That stuff. But after he got a certain amount of followers, it switched. It changed. His tone changed. His attitude changed. His message changed. And I see that a lot with ordinary YouTubers now, where they start off putting out a lot of truth, a lot of fact, a lot of think about this, or not that's closed-minded, you know, just look at this stuff, and now they're just telling you this is fact, this is truth, this is all fake, this is not real. And if you go into discussions with these people, you're a fucking chill, a troll, a fucking Jew, Hamas, I've been called a fucking Mossad agent, I've been called all sorts of shit. You know? Just for pointing out some obvious glaring holes in their fucking bullshit stories, you know, and they don't come up with arguments anymore. They're just fucking a PK guy. I don't know if you know him, PK22. He's very, very good at the Boston bombing stuff. He makes fun of that stuff. He points out the glaring holes in there and all the shit. And now he's all of a sudden into MH17 and it's all fake, just like Boston bombing. It doesn't work like that, man. It really doesn't work like that.
I mean, you look at the wreckage photographs from MH17, he's actually MH17MD. The other one was MH370MO.
Mm-hmm.
I've just
they cannot even keep that straight. You know, what's MO and which one is MD? Now they're talking about some fucking window that's closed up.
Yeah.
That happens when it goes from long haul to short haul or whatever. They change the plane and they close the window and they put a bar or a toilet or whatever in that place.
Yeah.
They're going long haul. So these planes, the layout of those planes change.
Yeah.
And I've seen pictures of MH14 with the window, and I've seen MH14 without the window, but it's the MD plane. Every time it is the MD it got changed over the years. It got a different kind of window now. And now they're just fucking saying, well, this is MH370 because it has the closed window. No, it's not.
Well,
It just had a fucking closed window. That's all it did. They changed it's gone from long haul to short haul probably, or from short haul to long haul flights, and they changed it. They changed the layout, and it's standard shit in aviation.
Yeah.
And that to them is proof that this is the missing plane MH370.
Yeah.
But, come on.
That's it. Exactly. Jumping like seeing a puddle.
Yeah, but it took me 5 minutes on fucking Google Images to find pictures of MH17s before with the window and MH17 without the window after.
Guilty.
You know, there's a timestamp on it, there's a date on it, you know, you can see this is in 2008, and in 2010 it had a change, it has a closed window now.
Yeah.
Well, mystery solved.
For long
No, that's just proof, that's the proof that it's all fake.
Yeah.
They found, I don't know, maybe 6 passports with a fucking hole in it. Right? And they're saying, all of it is fake.
Peter, see all of this information that we're talking about, all of this information and all of this evidence and so forth that we're talking about, where is it all sourced back from? Where is the point of origin of this information?
Yeah, I think it's one small group on YouTube that is putting this stuff out. They work together and put it out.
Who is pumping it out? Who's pumping out the mainstream media information? Where is that data point coming from? Where is that source of origin coming from? Because what we're doing is we're discussing data, right? We're discussing data as if it's real, right? Although we're discussing data as if it's real, it's been given by where has this information came from? It came from the lowest of the low, who have, I mean, many times been proven to have a nefarious agenda.
Yeah, they have no access to real data. They have no access to fucking flight towers. They have no access to flight data. They have they don't know a pilot. They don't know anybody who's involved in aviation. They know nothing. They just fucking speculate.
They paint this narrative, and we try and remember these fucking how fast it was going, where was it? I seen the photograph and all that. You know what I mean? All this shit. I mean, all this shit can be mocked up, man, very easily. You know what I mean?
Sure. And the stuff that the Russians are putting out right now with the jet that flew behind it, that could be faked as well, of course.
That's what I mean. My question is, how do we identify the wag the dog moment? That's how do we identify when Fonzie jumps the shark? Where do we take our information from? The origin, source, and is it still images? Is it video images? Have we got enough text on our side to fucking differentiate between stuff that's been cut up and edited or not? And where do we draw the line?
Yeah, okay, but I think it's pretty obvious. Just like with the missing plane, we haven't found the fucking plane. Let us fucking find the fucking plane before we ask any questions.
Even if it was in the water, like they had technology in World War II to find,
they will find it. Sooner or later they'll fucking find it somehow. There's some diving expedition going, and they'll find a wreck somewhere. Just look, World War II planes got lost, and they just recently got refound.
Yeah.
And the people on board just got reunited with their families. You know, that happens not daily, but until today, where they find stuff back.
For me, it could have been a flying banana full of geese or something like that, because what it is, it's literally a vehicle to insert a narrative into the public's consciousness. I would say a flying banana full of geese that flew into a wizard's sleeve. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, but that doesn't but there were still I do believe there were people on board.
Yeah.
So you got real victims waiting for their relatives to come home, and they're not coming home anymore.
Mm.
And I think it's very yeah, well, I don't know, but it's fucking fucked up if you fucking speculate on this is all being fake.
Mm.
Just imagine just the thought of your daughter or son or a family relative or whatever being on that fucking plane and somebody's telling you this is all fake.
But that it's the same.
How fucking, you know?
It's the old Jew, man. It's the same. It's the same mentality as not being allowed to discuss all aspects of the Holocaust.
Fine, I'm fine with that. But don't tell me that you can discuss this shit. That's fine. But when I discuss this shit, they tell me I'm a fucking troll. I'm a fucking Mossad agent. I don't know. I'm a paid chill for asking questions about their fucking bullshit theories they're putting out there. Because half of them I can fucking Google it and fucking find a solution and an answer to their questions. Why the fuck don't they do that?
See, that's where it boils down again, isn't it? To where I feel like people getting the TV and the reality of their life completely mixed up, and they actually believe everything they see without actually pressing a couple of buttons and researching it themselves.
No, I actually believe there are people out there who think like David Icke and think we are living in a fucking Matrix world, that everything is fake.
Yeah, there's a lot has gone over the top of it. A hell of a lot has gone over the top of it.
I don't know.
There is a lot of, it's like you said, Dave, it's a mixture of all. It's fakery, reality, and false flaggery.
To keep the camps, whoever's flying whatever flag, to keep them saying, no, I'm right, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it keeps the ego, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking really good system. You've got to take your hat off to it sometimes.
Well, it's like I said,
for me, it's a very hard sell to the people who are we call sheeple, who are not aware and awake about these things, and try and explain to them this is all fake. That's no way. You cannot fucking give them the red pill and wake them up. No way.
I've actually tried it. They're laughing at it. It's like even yeah,
you are being immediately put in a fucking tinfoil hat crazy box.
I think there's very little that any of us in this sort of, and I always use this word sort of judiciously, see the truth movement, right? Truth, loaded word right away, right? And then movement, it's also got that bowel connotation, you know what I mean? Where you're getting, you know what I mean? So.
I get where you're coming from. Oh, what an analogy.
Yeah, well, I fucking completely agree, because this whole truth, what the fuck is truth anyway? Who? Yeah, you know, I'm not fucking Messiah, I'm not a Messiah telling you the truth. I'm just telling you my opinion and my view of these kind of things, but come on, you at least have to fucking find a basis in reality and not find a basis in some fucking Matrix world, because that's not getting us anywhere.
No, it's a really, really, really important topic, a really fucking broad topic, you know what I mean? It's something that we could talk at in length. There's a lot of grey areas in life and a lot of duality in life. I don't like saying things in black and white terms more as I'm getting older now, you know what I mean? There's a material world and there's a spiritual world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like if you, for seeing that like things that don't exist, obviously we know we can only see the visible light band and only a small fraction of that and so on and so forth, you know what I mean? But I know what you're saying, you know what I mean? There's the argument there that what typifies the argument, you know what I mean, when he describes like David Icke's like lizard men and all, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They make the argument sound silly so that the people who are researching it get put off, they don't want to get put any of that.
The same shit happened with 9/11 with the fake planes. This is not something new, you know. Where they try to mix in the bullshit with the fantasy with reality.
As I say, I think the best thing they done is, if you can imagine a kaleidoscope or something, and just shattered it full of modi operandi, you know what I mean? They were like, you know what I mean? Here's a framework of how to splinter all these groups, you know what I mean? Like an absolute masterstroke of fragment, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Through using various approaches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that bell on your mic? Is that the bells on your cap, Peter?
That's the what?
Even out, I'm going crazy.
Can I say this? Can I say this as well? It's hard to wake people up, right? See when we use that, it's another loaded phrase that means, it implies that we're awake and there's no more waking up to do around that as well, right? But it's hard for us, I'm not speaking just about us, but I'm taking the collective we. How can we wake people up when we hardly agree on anything? You know what I mean? Like, even when it comes to 9/11, you know what I mean? 9/11's an inside job. Well, when you say inside job, what do you mean? Who benefited from it? You know what I mean? Was it the government? Was it us? You know what I mean? Was it this? Was it that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's just so many. You know what I mean? There's so many. It's like the catacombs under Paris, you know what I mean? It's like, go and enjoy yourself in that fractal, you know what I mean? You can spend your whole life doing it. I know people on that David Icke forum. Oh man, I was one myself for long enough, you know what I mean? Unbelievable. You'd waste your life doing it.
I've just noticed Stevie V's joined us. Evening, Steve. How are you going, buddy?
Evening, guys. Yeah, I'm good. I was having internet problems. I've had my editor open and it was rendering a video. Well, possibly a new channel coming up from me. Something a little bit different, but yeah, so it kind of screwed me about. But I shut it all down and that, so I could come on. I'll just reopen it later on when we're. I'll let it sort itself out while I sleep or something. Interesting convo though, guys. I actually went and did a bit of fact finding yesterday after hearing about the other crash that happened in Mali. I forget all the details now. But
Air Algeria.
that's it, Air Algeria, that's the one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went and did a bit of fact finding. On average, 20,000 flights per day, if not more. Roughly 1,000 of them are cancelled, and no more than 15% of them are because of a failure. So it's quite shocking when we've had sort of over the past, 3 months, you know, 3 planes go down, missing and shot down, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
I think I could tell you what's behind that.
Well,
Okay, there's a system that's called the automatic pilot. And they got a new system that's called the totally automatic pilot, where you don't need a pilot anymore, where it just takes off and lands. It's called a drone.
yeah.
So where nefarious pilots, like the one on 370, cannot switch off this transponder anymore and turn it around and dump it in the ocean, because it's radio controlled. That's one.
Alright.
And the second thing is a rocket monitoring weapon system you can put on the plane. If you look at the El Al planes from Israel, the commercial planes from El Al,
Yeah,
the Israeli airplane, they got that system on board.
warning system.
And it is a rocket defense system.
Is it not called uninterruptible autopilot?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's basically a drone. It's a fucking drone. That's what it is. It's just an autopilot. Yeah.
got Starburst on planes now from Israel and that. You know what I mean by Starburst, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So it rocket and defence system sees it, drops Starburst on it, so it goes for the hottest source and it's the Starburst.
She's using myself.
Yeah, but it has a laser guided systems that can either detect and destroy, or it can detect and put out flares.
Yeah.
So when there's some kind of a rocket fired at it, it shoots off flares and it can just happily fly along. It's a very, very convenient small system you just stick under your fucking plane and you can take off and go. So it's probably something that has to do with that. You know, it's all weapon sales and automation, I think, to take the control out of, or take over control actually by governments over the airlines.
Question there, but Tony D, but do you guys think that Pixie Geldof was offed like Soldando? Pixie Geldof?
Peaches or Pixie?
Peaches, yeah.
You mean Peaches?
She died of heroin, right?
Supposedly.
Like they all do.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by Pixie. Who's Pixie? I only know Peaches.
Peaches Geldof. That's the daughter of Bob Geldof.
Do you think there's been a wee bit of a mix-up there?
Yeah, I think he's just had to. I'm just presuming he's got my name mixed up and it's Pete, unless you were called Pixie as well.
Well, Geldof, what did he do? He was involved in a fucking massive scam, basically, where he's getting the morality of I couldn't speak lowly enough about him, man, and pretended that he was going to raise money for starving children that were fucking starving to death in their mother's arms in Africa, and the audacity, like, just send us your fucking money and all that, and the money, the fucking rat, and he couldn't be any more than an insider, just talking about shit. The money never went over there, you know what I mean, it was just usual, and
Aye, him and Bono.
arms and fucking, rat bastard. So, but why would they take out? Why would they punish him like that? Did he step out of line or anything like that? No. He was in the wall video and all that. It's worth a mention, but what else has he done? I mean, like, has he done anything recently? Was he involved in Live 8? Did they get started?
Yeah, he did.
He's a snake, and he's a Geldof is a snake bastard. He is.
See, I struggle with pop culture and TV and all that. I know nothing about.
I think what Tony is saying is it linked to the pedophile stuff.
Yeah.
The singer. The Welsh singer.
Well, if maybe Peaches knew something or so, or maybe she was willing to come out about stuff, or I don't know.
Somebody Watkins.
Jill Dan. She failed the doorstep challenge, didn't she? She got shot right in her doorstep, man. If that's not a message, that is a message. Definitely.
Yeah, and what's being said, it's about the IRA, but right now it's about the pedophile. She probably wanted to break a pedophile story as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's based on fact or fiction. I don't know.
What? So Pixie's dead as well?
What?
So Pixie's dead as well as. I'm really confused here, mate.
No, I think that's just gonna fuck up, man.
No, it's Peaches. Peaches Geldof. That's the daughter of Bob Geldof.
Yeah, I thought I was just under the impression that there was only one.
Lost Profits. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's Peaches.
It is Pete. Yeah.
It seems Pixie is her sister.
Who I think is going to be the next one to get set up for the fall.
I didn't know she had a sister.
What's her name?
I really didn't know.
Keith Allen's daughter, Lily Allen. Have you seen her recently? She looks right out of control. She looks as if she's on the white moustache.
Really?
She started off like pretending to be some sort of anti-materialistic, anti-capitalistic sort of, didn't she? With Jessie J, the ultimate or make you sick like a prophecy. But then she's right into being a right, you know, like victim porn. But I get she's next on my calendar celebrity death watch actually. And Keith Allen, obviously, he might get slapped down for his behaviour in the past with the Palace. You know his videos and that. But what has Geldof done to upset him?
I think what's it's going to be next on. Oh, not British.
I don't know. All I know about Geldof is that he is heavily involved in Africa and all that stuff there. So.
He's always, is it from 80s Africa? When
Yeah.
was it? 81?
Yeah, no, the first Live Aid, I think, but.
Aye. He's following on for like the Rhodes Foundation and that. He's sort of left off on that.
To me, he's always been a B artist, a one-hit wonder.
Even
One day fly, you know, what you call him.
aye,
He had one hit over here, so.
definitely.
And all he had after that was that Africa shit, because he wasn't producing any decent music or anything.
I'm struggling for the name of his, what's it? His video? I can't, his tune he did, Geldof. Can't
Well, I
remember.
would sing it, but I don't want to get a Steve.
Right!
He didn't like a certain day of the week, wasn't it? It was, he wished it was.
I don't like Sundays.
He wished it was Gundy.
Yeah, I don't like Sundays, I wish it were Gunday.
Gundy.
That's it, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I remember now. Was it that was the only one more, wasn't it? That was the only one he did, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I had that and I'm not sort of really poor, weak, lame, lukewarm, middle of the road to Ross. Maybe not as bad as Mumford and Sons, but certainly pretty poor.
It's
Yeah, I don't know if Peaches ever had something to tell, because she's dead now, so they shut her up if that's the case. And we will never know, I guess. That's the whole point of shutting somebody up, I guess.
She put a tweet out, did she not?
wasn't there what's it?
Did she? I don't know.
Put a tweet out saying she was going to like uncover paedophiles.
Well, there you go.
A
Yeah.
while ago.
Well, but if she did, then that yeah. Well, there you go then.
Wasn't there a little rumour about a sort of she was going to expose some of this ring or something?
Aye, she put a tweet out.
Yeah, I'm not all that big on Twitter proof.
She did actually post something though, didn't she, on Twitter? I don't know what she did because I don't go on Twitter myself.
No, she did.
What was about Ash Man going to hold? Watch out.
I don't remember what it was about either. I'll tell you, I think it's going to be next one war in the American thing. Miley Virus.
Yeah.
I reckon she's going to do a Britney Spears or
Trying to break control
yeah. You know what I mean?
to the handlers.
Yeah, because that was Cry for Help, wasn't it? Cry for Help off Britney, wasn't it?
Classic, shaving the head.
Yeah.
Who's a handler of that?
I think it might have been that Kevin Federer, initially. You know what I mean?
Which one? Which one are we on about now?
Him that really, you know.
No, which is it? Which person are we on about?
Brittany.
Britney on about
No, Miley.
Miley, yeah, no, I'm not sure, you know. I just thought that was completely disgusting what he did with her at 14-year-old. I mean, what permanent house naked pictures taken with the daughter, 14-year-old. It's just not right, is it?
Remember we were talking about earlier as well, the sexualisation of the kids and all that is coming up with the fucking
Yeah.
fake tan on the beauty pageants for the young lassies and all
Yeah.
that, man. It's fucking unbelievable, man.
The days were over.
The pedo shit that's out there on MTV is fucking crazy.
Thank you.
But Britney started that shit, so Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah. She did actually.
She was 16. Come on.
Man, I know what was in it.
I must admit she was a pretty girl, but he just went on with top, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Just look what's left of her now.
yeah. She's I don't know whether she lost the weight, but she put a hell of a lot of weight on, didn't she?
Yeah, all of a sudden she's fat. She cannot sing.
Yeah.
Doesn't produce any hits anymore.
Well, she stopped taking the pop tablets in the morning, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm a pop tarts, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's a thing with the Disney stars in this case. Miley Cyrus is a Disney kid.
Yeah.
Britney Spears was a Disney kid.
I'm trying to think.
I think it's more part of that meme or the Disney.
What was she called? With Ginger, she went through it as well, didn't she? She was a what's child. She was a Disney child. She actually played a double part in one film. It was her sister, her own sister. What was she called? Ginger.
Hannah Montana?
No.
Nah, that's Miley Cyrus. Hannah Montana is Miley Cyrus, right?
Yeah, that was Hannah Montana, yeah. Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's a Disney startup.
MK Ultra, Mickey Mouse Club?
Yeah. Did you not see that post the other day about somebody posted?
Timberlake. Justin Timberlake also is a Disney kid.
Yeah, he is, yeah. But he's a bit out of picture now, isn't he, Timber Snake?
Yeah, he's playing ball. As long as you play ball, it's all okay.
Yeah, I'll play him with balls.
Probably.
What did you want to come
that Timberlake man, he just fucking, he typifies that sort of music, doesn't it? It just, it says nothing to anybody at all, like, you know what I mean? It's just fucking dross, elevator music, you know, it's just...
Yeah.
Remember like the Canadian about it. I'm 14, I'm on the phone, A little bit of life, do you know what I mean? Like, how dare they write a song yet, you know what I mean?
Oh, 14.
Cheers, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the thing is, everybody could have done that. They could have picked anybody to do that.
Look, Rolf Harris did Two Little Boys.
Yeah. Literally.
Sure did.
Did
you ever see
light on that tune?
Two Little Boys, Two Little Ties. That's
Hey guys, why is my face only on the fucking YouTube?
I haven't pressed anything on my side. I've noticed that actually because you're aware that I'm actually.
I'm a handsome guy, but.
Most handsome.
Paranoid.
I do not deserve all the limelight here. Not a problem, man.
Have you not wondered why I'm here with Dave, Stephen?
Yeah, I had wondered, yeah.
I travelled up today. It's been an extremely long, dismal day.
You just wanted to go to the Commonwealth Games, didn't you?
Do you know that was every question, everybody I say, no, you're going to Commonwealth Games? That was my answer, because I didn't even know they were on. So if you don't pick a newspaper up or switch on news, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on because I'm on net all the time. My TV is my monitor, so it's not connected up to the outside world, my TV, apart from the modem that runs the PC. I can't watch films. I struggle to watch films. I watched, what's it last night? Transformers.
Yeah, seen it. Shit.
Yeah, I actually thought it was very shit as well. I kept getting on.
Yeah, well, the first were too.
I think I spent more time in kitchen than I did actually watching film, to tell you the truth.
Okay, now, what did you think when you first saw the main character's daughter?
What did I say?
What did you think?
I turned around and I said, hey up, a new Pokemon for producers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time it's new film, new, it's not fair calling them that, but it's a new tool that they bring in out as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? A new tool for their pleasure. It's always someone.
I don't know, it's always the young, hot teenager that, you know?
That was my next sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very young, stunning young girl that does the parts in them, and that was my first words when as soon as I seen her, I just said, a new play toy for producers and that. Okay.
Yeah, and she plays dumb, and she plays, you know, horrible. It's yeah, no.
It's like, I'll tell you what gets me, you know, how you get these singers on YouTube and they're trying to make it and things like that. I say to them, I put comments on them, please stay away from mainstream. You're good, but just, sorry, I'll give it you first.
I've got quite a few people, like mates who sing and sing very well. And I was actually having an argument with one of my old friends because I hadn't spoken to her for a while, and I found out she had got a label deal, and I said, what did you sell yourself out for? You know what I mean? She's totally sold herself out. She can't make videos without permission. She can't do absolutely anything in her life without permission. I just think that's a very sad way to be.
Yeah. It's another birth certificate, really, isn't it? You're signing your life away. Like I say, young uns on YouTube trying to bring themselves in with singing and things like that, and I tell them to stay away from mainstream and that.
Aye.
We always get some muppet turning around and saying, oh, you're only jealous and all that, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm not jealous. Research it. Go and have a look, see what actually happens to them, and there's enough proof itchy in face just by looking at like Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears.
Aye.
The list goes on, you know what I mean? I think all these were accidents, man. You know what I mean? It's too common of a thing to be accidents. And why am I trying to roll two joints at once? Oh, my head's somewhere back in Bolton, man. It's in England.
I don't smoke it. Well, I mean, I still smoke tobacco. I don't smoke any pot or anything these days. But sometimes I do sit there and think I'm missing out on loads so much. I get really hyperactive and I can't sleep. My imagination just goes wild when I smoke. That's why I stop.
You don't need smoke it, Steve. Let's make some brownies.
Yeah, cup of tea.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a cup of tea. Instead of using a tea bag, you use the green and no milk.
It's a complete different high.
Yep. Nice mellow buzz tea.
Yeah. I like it.
You get a bodily high, not a mentally high.
Yes.
You don't get high in the brain, you get more high in the body.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different feeling and very relaxing. And
I don't want to be crawling on the ceiling.
It's like Mr. Soft Marshmallow Man. You just feel really relaxed and bodily relaxed, though not like your mind still works and it's carrying on. But I get that anyway with weed. It doesn't. I mean, it's whatever.
yeah, but the thing is with weed, you have to build a tolerance to it. If you're not used to it, you get the munchies, you get the laughs, you get all the shit.
Yeah,
You're giggling away, and you know. But
Yeah.
after you got your tolerance or your levels at a certain point, that's gone, and you just feel good.
29 years now, Peter. I've been smoking it.
Oh yeah, cool.
It just.
Well, I'm not 29 years. Not that old.
Very
41.
good, actually.
Just gets better and better every day.
Yeah.
No, I have to find stronger and stronger every day. But I don't actually. I do it like I say, it's mainly for back. Well, my back being so buggered, it just takes the edge off, and I don't have to take morphine or really strong painkillers that doctors give me. I just come home and flush in the toilet.
Yeah. Okay, but for that, do you know the weed oils work a lot better
I know.
than smoking it. You know.
Yeah, I have realised when I make my cakes, I can like have a couple of pieces of cake and then I'm fine about half an hour later, and that would be for most of the day. But
Yeah.
smoking wise, I'm smoking like, but I literally do have to smoke
Yeah,
one after another until that pain barrier's gone down. You know what I mean? And I can relax. But at the moment, because I've had all that bouncing on that coach coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The shoulder at the minute now, you know, right down my ribs there. What are hurting?
Yeah.
Strange, because it's never hurt in that place before either. So it must have just,
I think it's also more suited for arthritis and when you got
Hands like
yeah. then it's more beneficial for you.
So,
than,
man, sorry, is it James?
James,
than when you got a clamped nerve or something like that, or a bad back.
Have you actually got arthritis, mate?
rheumatoid.
Aye. Rheumatoid.
Is it rheumatoid arthritis?
Aye.
Do you think David Icke has got rheumatoid arthritis?
Well, his horns look like it, but he does. The way he goes on, I don't think he's got it.
There's a big debate, you know what I mean? There's people who's putting up videos like that. Look at his hands, that's not really what somebody with rheumatoid arthritis looks like.
Well,
There's
my hand's the exact same shape as his. Look.
So do you think he's genuine enough with it? Or
Oh, he must be on something.
Yeah, booze.
He's got to be on something.
aye.
I reckon he's on gin.
Jim,
Yeah, serious.
He's on something. But it gets worse as you get older.
Yeah, he looks alcoholic to me. I've just lost a friend of mine at 54 who died of alcoholism. Some of the tales that were coming out through the back door about TBV, them going up there and just sitting there drinking gin like it was going out of fashion. And I reckon he's a gin swiller, but he doesn't think he's a drinker.
I'll tell you, see with the gin, you can't smell it, can you? You can't taste it, or you
No.
can't smell somebody. See, like, you get a lot of LDers and that, women and that drink the gin. Because of that reason, they can secret alcoholics because you can't smell it half them and that.
that blue gin always reminds me of a blue rinse. You know what I mean, don't you?
Has
Someone
anybody
else
seen
has-
the latest
someone
row?
else has had drugs and it doesn't work.
You still feeling it then, aye?
Aye, still, it's just there. It's there constantly.
What did they actually give you for it, James?
Oh, I've can't be on everything.
But what related to that then?
Eh?
What related?
Well, it might have caused it. That might have caused it. I used to be a bricklayer.
Aye.
Squatting in the frozen cold and
Respect,
whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Might have caused that.
I wish I wrote scaff. It's surprising when you're out there all the time. If I could go back me, James, and listen to the old fellas that are saying, cover your back up, do this, do that, you know what I mean? It were all for help you out, but you're like, fuck off, what do you know, you know what I mean? You're some 19, 20-year-old running about on site. You know what I mean? And now it's like, I wish I'd have listened to him. He was right in what he said. You know what I mean?
I've worked to that, dude.
I've worked when it's been that cold. The gaffer went, just put some antifreeze in the water. I was like, you kidding me on? Put antifreeze in the water?
Ethanol poison.
I remember working one New Year's Day, James, and we had to get hammer and bolster. We were doing some flagging, but we had to get hammer and bolster to get the old flags up. They were just, it was that when we had a really deep permafrost. I think it was 2008, something like that, was a really bad winter. Oh, Jesus, man, I ended up getting jackhammer. He said, well, keep flying. I said, no chance. I can't get these up. Throw us to the floor.
Just freeze to the ground, aye.
That's some fun out there, mate, in them weathers. I've really been blown off 120-foot high scaffolding, being my own fault. In wind, I've turned around with a board in my arms, flat in my arms, and just turned around and winds grabbed me.
Take it.
Blew me down, chipped steeple onto the roof. Come off 3 roofs. I've seen bounce. I don't know why I'm in so much pain nowadays. You don't learn, do you, when you're young? You just crack on, don't you?
I think you're invincible.
That's it. Exactly. Invincible, live forever.
I come off a roof when I was 16, and it was a green bitumastic roof, curved shape, and I was bucket boy, and I slipped over halfway down, and I've still got the end off one of the bolts, the green bolt. I've still got a round patch in my arse with this flake of green paint stuck in it, mate. I had it there since I was 16. You better rip my arse open on the way down.
Send pictures.
Send pictures.
Nobody wanted an island to come to save me. They just went, fucking hurry up and get them buckets filled. I'm like, oh.
Well, at least I know how to identify you now after a plane crash.
Yeah. It's on your right as you look. It's like I've got an eye in my right cheek. You know?
Brilliant.
I hope we got down to this. Or roofs, would it? Oh my god, I can't
Well, talking about what you did on site, we used to, being a painter, you know, if you want the money, you've got to go wherever it is, whether it's industrial, you know, where I've been all over halfway around the world decorating, but just relating to what Dean's saying about clambering, we used to do huge factories that got cranes in them, and if it was the right hand side of the factory, the wall above the crane track wanted doing, the only way you could do it was just by push yourself along backwards with a roller and a bucket and keep working backwards, just glossing the wall, you know. And the crane track would be about 8 inches wide, and the wall, the drop on your left hand side, would be about 30 foot. So one dodgy move, one slip of the roller, boom, off you go. And yeah, so
you're not getting away with that now.
It's not that far, is it? For a fucking wage.
it's
Who's the man? Fred?
far enough to die.
Fred Dibner. Now, he was a legend of it all.
Yeah.
He had brass balls and just, I mean, I'll be saying, I'll get that down. Hammer and chisel, £400, no problem.
Yeah, £400. I think it was 250 foot high chimney, and he took it down with an hammer and bolster.
You were telling me the other day.
Hammer and bolster.
Kind of stupid things I would do.
120 foot hole. What?
Yeah.
Shaft.
Yeah, and he's actually still a museum at the moment. In his back garden, he started to dig a shaft. The council stopped him at 120 feet. He was actually on BBC documentary planning this whole out. Yeah, he did it the old-fashioned way, you know, with the strings and bob weights and everything. That's how he lined everything up. He got a bow and arrow, and he fired it over a tree and lined everything up like that. Whit River, how we were going about it and everything.
Even he couldn't have took.
Bob.
Even he couldn't have took Building 7 down like that, could he?
Oh, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Fred, he'd have probably got a Ninja Pilot Fred at the 220.
That's what you were saying. You were saying that's been when you seen it coming down live. You're like, that's been fucking blew up.
Oh yeah, straight away. I mean, like I said, as a child, well, as a teenager, I followed Fred Dimmer about whatever he were demolishing, or he were in with a boiler suit on helping him, or just feeding pile of fire. You know what I mean? But you were the best teacher I've ever come across. I mean, if you actually watch his documentaries on BBC, it's the way he explains things. And
he's like a labour of love.
Yeah. The statue that they put up in Bolton hasn't done him justice, not one bit. It doesn't look anything like him. They put a bronze statue up of him. But he went around and I've never seen how he did it, his spelling.
Got a different method.
He did it the Victorian way.
What's that one?
What he
Put the
did.
top to hold in the bottom, then put the logs in and set them on fire.
Yeah. He did it that way, he did it the Victorian way. He said they took a long time to be built. He said they deserved to smoke one last time.
Aye. Do you know what I love, man? See the other method that I'm talking about? When he was up at the top of it, right? And he's kicking fucking bricks down the middle of the shaft.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Not by your leaves, back in the world.
Get this, Trevor, you were,
On
sorry,
a rickety ladder.
James, you've worked on scaffs, haven't you, doing your bricking?
Aye.
Right, this guy had all up, scaffold, yeah, 250 foot high, yeah, bit of a, what do we call,
Homemade ladder.
an angle round the chimney, one board wide, no handrails, and worked off that, demolishing a chimney.
I know, I've seen it, aye.
I know,
The ladder's bouncing about like that.
yeah, he had some balls in them pants and Sharon,
Not much.
and they were solid brass.
Right, man.
No,
Better than that statue, anyway.
he's got his name about on quite a few chimneys when Bolton now. He's
So he should, man. Guy's a legend.
there's a lot of them got preservation orders on because he's got a plaque on them saying Fred didn't such and such a day worked on this. It makes me laugh how he throws them ladders up. Well, how he did throw them ladders up.
He drove a steamroller, didn't he?
Oh, he had some nice machines in that garden, I tell you.
Chuck
I've
Norris.
got an invitation for you, Dean. I got an invitation for you, Dean.
Yeah,
It happens on the last Sunday of every month, and local to me at one of the museums is an industrial museum.
yeah,
I've got two friends there. One's a blacksmith, and he used to work as a blacksmith down the pit. And they've got they've got one complete beam engine down there, about 100 foot from the bottom of the sump to the top of the beam. And there's about 7 or 8 of them. And there's traction engines, all sorts of stuff. If ever you want to meet up for a Sunday, I'll go and take you down there, introduce you to the guys. There's a whole bunch of Dibners dying out down there, mate.
that's sounding good to me, that. We've got even that exchange some details on that.
Yeah,
Are they running beam engines as well?
yeah. Once a month, they run the beam engine off the steam. Yeah, everything gets fired up, man. And they've got a huge traction engine that was supposed to have gone to South Africa that never went. It's one of 2, and they used the other one for bits, but they've got one fully restored and running. Amazing piece of kit, mate. And when they set it all up on a Sunday, they've got all these little steam engines and all sorts of shit all in a line, all ticking away. And a mate of mine has just restored a 2-cylinder diesel engine that was took off like a ship like the Queen Mary to run the fridge, and the pistons are about what 11 inches across, and he's just he's just done it all, like rerung it, done a head job on it, and rebalanced the flywheel on it.
11 inch.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I guarantee if you go down there with a tape recorder, somebody could put a real good, like, modern kind of computer music track to it, because you stand there in the doorway and all you can hear is and it's all in rhythm, and it never drops the rhythm, and every now and then
it sounded like Fred then when you did that.
yeah. But yeah, brilliant place if you're into that stuff.
Definitely. It'd be even better if they put a spanner in the hand.
You can, yeah, man. Well, they're all volunteers. But if you want to check it online, it's Wollerton Hall Industrial Museum.
Rollington. I've no pen.
Wollerton.
Wollerton. WOLLATON. Wollerton Hall Industrial Museum, Nottingham.
Wellington Hall.
Yeah. And you get tea and biscuits and all sort of stuff down there. That it starts about 10 o'clock and it goes on till about 4:30.
That sounds good to me, that.
Yeah, mate.
Especially if I'm going to buy the suit and the spanner in my hand. Even though I'm not doing anything, just looking at that, you know.
A spanner, a pair of blowovers and a bit of rag.
Yeah, just whack a bit of light on the face, you know.
There's a guy walks around that beam engine every now and then with, like the old squirty oil pot.
Yeah.
And they're going around lifting little brass lids and topping the oil up on the bearings and stuff, man. Like, it's amazing. He's keeping this shit running.
Do you know what I was just thinking there as well? It's an obvious thing, really, but we not only to write anything down, see when we discuss anything on, because it's all recorded on the hangout.
Oh, yeah.
Just as I done that there, I thought.
That's exactly. Good point, that. Everything we say is recorded. So I just play back and get the names off the video, don't I? That just proves how past time I am, right?
If we're going to be current then, let's say that Stevie knows it because he put a cracking video up, and all I'm saying is that from what I've found out today, mate, history has been made this Wednesday. Absolutely, history has been made this Wednesday with this action at Tom Watson's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's actually going to draw more attention and wake people up? Or
it already has. It already has. It's hit the national press. So
he's got 3 radio stations begging for an interview, including the Sun, and there's other people sort of leaving messages on the Facebook page, wanting to do an interview, and that these guys are either independent reporters who just put news out, or I don't know, but it seems to me it's gained more attention than any other eviction anywhere in Britain.
But it's as if it's only him. It's as if it's not happening to everybody else.
See, what I was going to say. Yeah, what I was going to say to that as well, James, is what we were talking about earlier is like the titles of videos and things. I think some people have gone and blown it out of proportions with the titles they put on them. And
sensationalising it.
Yeah, they've really sensationalised it, whereas they just keep it plain, normal.
So do you think there's a danger? See this guy, sorry I forget his name, but do you think there's a danger that's the cause celebrity? It's like everybody, there's a lot of other victims out there, why is there such a focus on him as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Knowing him, that's the only problem. There's thousands of Britain like that.
Yeah.
It's focused on this one guy. Why?
That's a good point. I didn't have
He's going to expose the system for what it is, and it's not just him on his own. There's Guy Taylor as well, and they've got some forensic court guy who's
Do you know, are they using freeman of the land arguments?
No.
No.
no. This is just pure law.
Bankrupt.
Yeah, and I think what you've got to always remember is it always takes one, like, you know, one sort of event to bring the rest of the events out into the open. Like, look at the, you know, paedophile scandal. You know, it was only Jimmy Savile, and then it's now become this huge thing.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, I think everyone felt for Tom. I mean, I know I certainly did. It really tugged on me. I don't doubt that there is loads of these happening everywhere, but the fact that this one case has now, you know, made national paper. There's, you know, there's photos of, like, you know, the 200-300 people standing there. I think that will give the rest of them out there some glimmer of hope. They may not get the press, but if they feel that it's given them a glimmer of hope and they can turn around to their friends, their family, and say, come stand here with me on this day, and it stops the eviction, I think that's a really good thing.
Maybe just a tipping point, basically, the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to exposing the. I mean, see the people that guy that he's dealing with. I mean, that he just looks a total wronging, man.
Oh, you're on about the Bailey?
Yes.
Has he not retired yet? He's due for retirement, isn't he?
Well, he's maybe taking some heat, you know, so like, we'll need to just change the face. You know what I mean? Like, he's like uneconomical for them to keep him at the head, you know.
Well, he actually said in a couple of videos, didn't he? No, I'm not bothered because I'm retiring next month.
Aye.
Yeah, he actually said them words a couple of times. I've seen him in several videos, that guy. It always seems to be him.
Mm.
And it's not only Nottingham he goes, he seems to be everywhere, all over the country. Like
They've got a lot of fucking willing servants, haven't they? Who basically what they're doing is perverting their fucking soul for fleeting monetary gain and so forth, not I mean? But
Must you be to the edge of water?
The crux of the matter here, though, is they've found out that the solicitors, the council, and certain parts of the judiciary have been have ignored the due process of law the way it should go by the book, and they've all been cutting corners and scratching each other's back. There's an MP involved because he made a plea to the local MP, and it turns out that the MP was lied to by Bradford and Bingley. So that's why he never pursued the case. Well, it turns out, well, now an MP's been officially lied to by a bank to cover up a fraud where, you know, that it was said... It was said on Wednesday that, you know, you don't think you see many of these evictions, but there's 200 a month 200 a week happening in Nottinghamshire. That's 1,000 a month. And that's just Nottinghamshire.
I don't know if you just heard that there, but he's actually on his way around to evict Kendall.
They can come round and try. Because I live on a close as well. You can get about 500 up here, mate. But the thing is that they've all been not been doing lawful things to push the law in their way, and the police have been supporting them, and this has now all been exposed. That's why it's a historical moment, and he's got a whole wedge of, you know, evidence that's now the media's into it. Apparently it was on the Right Stuff this morning as well.
Did you actually get over there, Kendall?
Yeah, I was there, mate. You want to see my forum?
I thought I actually, I wasn't too sure because, like I said, my head's completely with me at the moment.
Yeah, I come fried. We are fried on the day. I've got a bad forehead now. It's all cracking up and peeling.
I'll tell you, I wish I could have got down there actually. So I like the experience and
Yeah.
talking to other people as well, you know what I mean, that have the same views. It's nice to be amongst that for a change.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's the
I
one.
went on my own, but as I walked up the close, I saw about 4 or 5 people I knew from the internet, and went, "Oh, I know you." And they went, "All right, who are you? Who are you?" "Oh, yeah, so and so, so and so." And I think there's a guy. There's a guy. He's made 1 or 2 comments on here. Doodlesaurus. If ever you see Doodlesaurus making a comment, he was sat right side of me, nearly all day. So he's a good lad. He's a good lad, Doodlesaurus. So
See, that's it as well. You get the opportunity to put faces to the names of the YouTube pages, and it sort of becomes a little more intimate.
yeah, and you know that guy who does the videos where there's a video of a copper changing a film and his van's ticking over, and
I haven't seen that.
and this guy got a broad, whatever, Oldham accent. Do you know all that? Like you're contributing in a road traffic act there, mate. You're a policeman. You should know your job. He was there as well with his iPad, sort of taking film. You know, like all these people that you only see on your little screen in your back kitchen, then all of a sudden they're all there, you know, anonymous, but
Yeah.
they're a bit weird, man.
Good on them all.
I think as well, one of the, because it was mentioned on their page that, oh, don't get involved with Anonymous, don't get involved with the Freeman movement, don't get involved with We Are Change, don't get involved with this. And the reason that all those people, like, got in, like, not for self-promotion, I mean, I'm sure some of it was for self-promotion, but they obviously understood the situation, and I think that whole thing just showed, because, you know, a lot of movements are like, oh, don't agree with them, blah, 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 don't agree with them, blah, blah, blah. But it showed, like, a true unity of a group of people that probably wouldn't normally associate themselves with each other. You know, a bit like this as well, you know. I mean, I'd never in a million years probably would have met any of you guys. Like, you know, I still haven't in physical terms, but, you know, I've seen all your faces, most of them. So, yeah, but I personally wish I had gone. I got a last-minute lift to get up there, but that fell through on the morning. I was awake, wide awake, ready to go, and the person didn't come and collect me to go up there, which was rather unfortunate, but it did look really good, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a good vibe.
It's good to sort of get a wee bit more than just YouTube and Facebook sort of as a reality to communicate with each other. Being with each other physically, you can't really beat it, you know. I think what they're trying to do is they removed the pub as a sort of social hub. People used to get in there and converse and speak the week through, get things off their mind, but that's been removed now and replaced with corporate
days.
You know.
Fortunately, on Wednesday there was a pub just round the corner where we all parked our cars. Lots of
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I was there at 20 to 8. They weren't quite open then, but like, you know, wandered down. But like, the first 2 people I met in the car park were 2 anonymous lads, and one of them said his name, and I've seen him on the net. I went, oh yeah, yeah, and then he whipped this anonymous mask on. I thought, oh, here we go.
I mean, this is all good and well to a certain degree, but we should never ever forget that we're playing in their playground. I mean, it's serious all left their ass anyway, you know.
Well, I said after that I thought, well, not on the net. I haven't said it on the net for obvious reasons, but like I've thought to myself, well, this can either go 1 or 2 ways now. Either Bradford and Bingley capitulate and say, yeah, the house is yours, and climb down, because they are playing a game. That'll be all over the papers, and they'll cover it up that way. Or if they really, really want to pursue that system where they're going to enforce themselves in the dirty way that they do it,
It's
going to take it's going to take 2,000 coppers and about 500 or 600 people kipping in that close 24 hours before the police.
They might try and kill the story, or they might try and make an example of him.
Yeah. He'll either expose something. I mean, because as far as he's concerned, he still wants his day in court, and he's not going to let go. I'm good on the man, you know, and I hope that Ceylon and UK Column or Guy Taylor or whoever can help him get through that and do it, because that's what the main aim is. And if one gets through, then that the precedent's set, the whole system crumbles straight away.
Guy Taylor has already set a precedence, hasn't he? Because he's already got, I believe, is it 3 bankers who are still due to go before the court in front of him over the next few months, and he's apparently got loads of evidence of fraud. So that should be an interesting one. One obviously includes his own eviction, and then I believe he's got 2 others out. In getting it to court. So I know Guy Taylor is going to play a massive part in this, in exposing it. And like you just said there, Kendo, about it can go one of either 2 ways. And I think with the publicity that it's got, I personally don't think the bank has a choice, because I think the moment, especially with the group, if there's any mention that they're gonna pursue it, then I think they will get their 600 people.
They'll get more.
They'll get more there,
and 3,000, mate. I'm telling you.
And I don't think the police will bother. They'll just turn around and go, "No, we respect this bloke. We're with the public. As long as you don't start any violence or anything, and just stand there and just, basically stop them coming anywhere near the door, there's not a lot they can do."
No. Well,
does anybody know what the documentation is that he's put in?
The
day after?
This week sometime, he's putting a full PDF up on Facebook, and we're all waiting for that, because there's some documents in there that everybody needs, anybody who's got a mortgage, because there's some hanky-panky going on with the mortgage companies and the land registry people as well.
Yeah.
Read through the chart, right?
And you've got to...
I mean, from my understanding, the banks have not only messed around with the system, but they've also, like you said, about them lying to the MP and stuff. So Tom's got all of his original letters and stuff that he sent.
Yeah.
And then obviously his court hearing didn't even get heard, which again is beyond a joke, because that's not following process.
Well,
and he's called the guys out as well, hasn't he, with the lying, because he's now got the letters that they sent to the MP, and he's got all the false information. So it's a pretty strong case, really.
Yeah. What it was as well, a lower judge made a decision that was unlawful, because he wasn't high ranking enough a judge to actually make that decision, and he signed the paperwork, and they took his word, and they followed the paperwork through on this judge's decision, but he wasn't even qualified to make that decision. It should have gone to a higher authority.
He wasn't a high court judge, was he?
So they've got the whole system stitched on evidence, absolutely concrete evidence.
Honestly, it's a court of business. It's not a court of justice. Honestly, it's a court of business.
Have you ever tried bringing that up with anybody about mortgages?
Who, me?
Try and tell them how to get around it and everything. What reactions have you had? It's like, they laugh at you, and it's like, yeah, whatever, why is everyone not doing it? And you know what I mean?
It's funny you just said that, actually, because I had put up a Facebook status yesterday about Like I wrote, what did I write? I wrote, have you got a mortgage? Think you're going to own it after 25 years, and then I wrote, think again. Chances are you won't. Have a look at Tom Crawford's story, yeah, and then posted a link, you know, to his videos and stuff. And the amount of crap I got back was unreal. People were just like, oh, people should pay their debts. It's like they were all for the banks, and I just sat there. I was like, really? You think the banks are right? Like, in general, just over absolutely anything. Are the banks right? They control the whole bloody system. They ain't right, are they?
People
No, it's not right. Because
they've invested all their time in and all that is a fucking fraud. They don't like being told the truth. The truth hurts, and they get upset about it, mate.
Extremely upset.
plus most people can't get their head around the fact that the bank hasn't lent them any money.
Yeah.
You know, of course, somebody else. You know, I went out and bought a second-hand motor with it. Yeah, but the actual source of the money, you
grabbed out of thin air.
I mean, even if you have a mortgage under the system the way it should be, if you take from the system, you know you've got to work to put that back in. So if you take, but we're talking about the value of reality, not the hyped up market value. We're talking about the value of reality, the actual value of the piece of land and the actual value of the bricks and mortar, and then the negotiation for the tradesman to build the house and finish it all off.
And
you know? Not because when you buy from a builder, I mean, I'll tell you that. Well, those of you, you know, we've got a bricklayer on board here. Back in the late 70s, mid 80s. Every third house for a proper building firm was pure 100% profit. You know, yeah. So I don't know whether it's up to about number 5 now. But, you know,
from my understanding, it's if you build any more than 32 houses, you have to give half back to the council. That's my understanding now. So. It's probably still about the same.
But there's still probably an arrangement between the council and the company who developed the land, whereby they're the management company for the development, and they'll still be taking their cut, whichever way, and shit or bust. And
because they get the backhander for the council.
Yeah, that's how.
Another thing to bear in mind. See, discussing the topic like. Mortgage, the word mortgage, it's the same as corporation, obviously. Corpse refers to a dead entity. Mort, la mort, French, dead, you're not supposed to be dead, you know what I mean?
It's not just a mortgage. They actually, when you get a mortgage, they actually sell it on about 100 times. So nobody knows who actually owns your mortgage. So they can't prove you owe any money because you sold them so many times.
That's why
in the real world, I don't mind the fact that if a bank facilitates the credit for me to put a building, a structure on a piece of land, whether it's through a developer or whatever, but if the bank said to me, okay, we can do that, we'll facilitate your promissory note, you make the arrangement, the contract with us, that whatever we facilitate for you, you pay the price, because like at the end of the day, the bricklayer, the joiner, the plasterer and the electrician and the plumber and everything, the painter, they all want real money in their hand, so that money has to be put back into the system. So that's why you have to go out and work to pay for your house. But the crook thing is that the system is charging you another 2.5 times in interest in making you believe that they've had to get this big wedge of money out of their arse pocket that they can't really afford to lend you. And if we're going to lend you that money, bearing in mind we can't afford to lend you that money, we've got to charge you interest on that because we can't afford to lend you that money because we've only got a certain amount. Well, it's a lie, they haven't got any. They're making it up.
The interest can never be paid off anyway.
Definitely, it's absolutely disgusting. Once you understand that, once you understand the currency system and the fractional reserve banking that your man's talking about there, you don't need conspiracies. All you need to do is understand economics. Understand.
Yeah, and it's funny because going back to my Facebook status yesterday, I said, look, just go and search these terms in Google. I said, this is no conspiracy theory stuff. This is real. This is what happens. You know, the bank has no money. They literally make it out of thin air. They charge you interest. They don't print any more money to cover that. It's a shame. It's a shame it's like that. It's a shame it's come to that. But literally, we're getting so. Go on.
Sorry, Steve. What they are doing is asset stripping the people because there's fuck all left to asset strip. They've ripped everything that, you know, whatever industry has been caught. I mean, bearing in mind the railways are gone, the gas has gone, the electric and the water's gone. But who fucking paid for that in the first place? My old man, my granddad, and his fucking granddad. You know.
Yeah.
They, out of their tax, they paid for every bit of shit that happens to have gone on, you know, that is for the people, you know, the waters, the sewers and everything. And they went to work and built that structure up through paying their tax. And look what's come along. A bunch of shysters who have, well, from Margaret Thatcher.
They privatise it, and you pay, that's you paying twice for it. You've already paid for it, and then you privatise it and you have to pay for it again.
That's right. And
privatise the wealth that they make, and they fucking socialise the debt and the risk. You know what I mean? Like the public.
It's like your judges, isn't it? It's like your judges with your poll tax. Because the current actually higher, it's like court for the day, so the judges are getting paid out of public purse, and you also get paid privately out of the council.
Aye, dirty bastards.
And that's the game. It's not just corporatisation, it's collectivism, because that's the mood, that's the philosophy, that's the ideology that's coming from Europe. And there's only one thing: collectivism is your black hole. That's when everything gets collectivized, otherwise collectivism cannot succeed, and it all gets sucked up its own arse in a black hole, and eventually it puts people against people and makes people go to why they all sit on their arse, mate.
You can see this collectivism. I'm seeing it a lot in the so-called alternative news or alternative truth scene. There's an aggregation of an acceptable alternative, you know, like see like your People's Voice and so on, that is to be filtered down channels of acceptability, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And collectivism, it's, for me, it's the ultimate danger.
Tom's a victim of collectivism, and you know, at the moment, those of us who've still got our mortgages to pay, I mean, we've got about 2.5 years to go, but I'm just hoping that at the end of it, it's ours, you know. But like, all I'm saying is those who aren't affected yet, because the shit's not really at the fan, because I don't know, if there's an economical collapse in America, don't think it won't affect Britain, because it will. And if that does, stuff's going to go higher, you know. It's going to be about £3 for a loaf, man. And even more, but then it starts affecting more people, and more people are drawn in away from the event horizon into the event, and that's when you get wrapped up in the black hole, and that's when you go down, and you end up, you know, the criminalised fucking homelessness. How can you do that? Well, there's fucking food banks on the street, people, you know.
It's daft, isn't it? It's like, it literally, the way they've done it is it all literally feeds all back up the chain, and we are literally getting to a point now where there's just so much of a debt-run economy that eventually it's going to come to a point where people just simply cannot pay that, because there's far too many people with debt in the first place, and not enough money in the thingy to go round, and obviously they can't print that money anyway, because that would just inflate everything You know, and I heard today on the news, and I was quite shocked, and I laughed, and I was quite surprised that the BBC actually gave the second narrative of it, that they were going, oh, the economy's like booming or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The UK economy's booming, and then they turned around and they gave the other narrative that, yeah, but wages haven't gone up. So what does that tell you? If wages haven't gone up, but the economy's booming, the only way it can be booming is everyone's taking out debt. That's the only way it can be booming.
The other way, Steve, is the fact that so far 7 billion's been paid out in PPI. That's the other way the economy's boomed, because people are going out and thinking, oh, sod it, I might as well get a nice little second-hand motor, bang, that's another 2 or 3 grand gone, you know. And people are spending what they're getting, because I know I've got several mates, some of them have had several loans on, and one of my mates has got 11 grand back so far and went out and bought himself a motor with it. So, and now he's got a few bob tucked away, you know.
That's it.
That's
It's
where
like
the boys come from.
It's like robbing Peter for Paul, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in one hand and straight down the other. Back to the same place it's come from.
If we've got an economy that creates nothing, only authority, you know, it's like there's a Quango for this, you know, Capita, whoever collects for the BBC. If we've got all these Quangos, no one's actually producing anything, but loads of people are being paid. But an economy can't run unless something's produced.
Too many chiefs.
And that's yeah. So if you think from Margaret Thatcher, you know, well, I mean, they're going to frack the country. You might as well have left the miners alone and let them get on and drag the last 100 years of coal out. Because at least that way you'd got thousands of men at work, and you could have come to some decent arrangement about pay, because like, who wants to work down a pitman? And you could have worked something out with these guys, but no, you'd sooner stick drills in and contaminate the water and go up to some other agenda, you know.
Yeah.
And there was no need for Thatcher to do that. There was no need for Thatcher to close down all the steel mills. And you know, if we'd have wanted to go into competition with the Japanese at building ships back in the 70s or 80s, and if we'd have invested in it and really wanted to do that, we could have built some of the best ships in the fucking world, man, because we used to do that. We've been shipbuilders since the fucking ancient time.
I was going to say, see, you only have, I mean, obviously the Titanic sunk, but I mean, you only have to go back like 100 years, and we were producing some of the finest ships on the planet, and I'm sure we were way back, you know, way back.
Yeah, she caught them too.
And that's what I was going to say. You was talking about no one producing anything, you know, and I actually went and had a little look at roughly how many civil servants there are in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a surprising fact. I mean, okay, the population has grown as well, but currently there's about 9 million civil servants estimated in this country, or something silly like that.
9 million?
So it was like something like a third of the workforce. Yeah? And if you go back to sort of like the 50s, it was nowhere near that.
No. And if it's a third of the workforce, you just think to yourself, civil servant, government job. Look at the pensions they get, and look at all the, you know, they get good pay anyway. I mean,
yeah.
they sort themselves out for all sorts of nice little pensions, but they always get their pensions.
Yeah, and I mean, I was quite shocked when I found that out, because, like, you know, it just occurred to me. I was just like curious about it. And I mean, that isn't just you know, your direct workers. I mean, this is like literally everything. That's like everyone who does some kind of government job. Yeah. Whether it be dustbin collecting, although they're still privatised, but they're still classed as civil servants, you know, like all those privatised companies.
Oh yeah, but they're still on national minimum wage, aren't they? You know, they're getting ripped.
Well, this was another thing. You was just saying about, they've got nice, pensions and stuff like this. But
I'm on about, like, when I say nice pensions, I'm on about people like who work in the tax office.
oh yeah. I mean, obviously that's one side, but we've had all these union strikes and stuff, and everyone's been moaning about the teachers going on strike, the firefighters, blah blah blah, and they're in exactly the same boat as everyone else. Yeah, their wages have not gone up. The chances are that their pensions that they put into, because they put into their special union private pension, and chances are when they retire, they haven't got it. Just like anyone else who wants to claim their pension from the government.
Well, they're just on that police, aren't they? Well, they took her pensions off them. We were talking to a police down at Bilderberg. They were just, he said, I've done 25 years. Oh, fuck, I want to leave. He said, if I'd have known that, I'd have never joined.
25 years.
What I'm going to do, lads, that's us coming up to the 2 hour mark, and I think it's high time we get these guys into their bed, man. I've had a long journey.
My eyes are like fucking red shutters.
To thank everybody that's in the chat and everybody that's in the room, as always. And but I don't know, we'll book up very soon again, no doubt.
If we don't actually plan anything for the evening tomorrow, we're free. We'll probably do another hangout tomorrow evening.
Yeah, cool.
Cool, I'll be there.
No problems.
It's just I'd have gone on a bit longer this evening, but I'm absolutely shattered, chaps. It's really catching up on me now. A lot of what's being said isn't going in, sinking in, and it's time for it to stop when it gets like that, I think.
That's a good thing.
I think that's something that we've all learned together as we do these things, that it's good to bring it to an end, isn't it? Instead of sort of tapering out, you know what I mean, and everybody being totally fucked.
Yeah.
Rambling on and falling asleep.
Okay.
I'll keep it quiet. Definitely.
I've actually been fighting it like Ellie, and I'm just rolling the last one, and hopefully it's going to knock me out. I'm hoping I've not gone past, you get to a certain stage and you go way past the tiredness stage, and you're just tossing it and turning and you can't get to sleep. Well, I'm hoping I'm not at that stage.
I'm pretty sure you'll sleep like a baby tonight.
I hope so, mate. I really do.
Daisy will make sure of that.
Definitely, man.
He's gonna tuck you in, man.
You're tucking my eye.
What if for him? For else.
Very good, man.
Just a big bucket will do. Or a big bong. An extra.
No, but I totally agree, guys. It's like in the future over here, so.
Yeah, it's warm bells for you, isn't it, Peter?
Yep.
So it's just funny.
It's Friday night, so it's okay, but.
Yeah, it's just like I say, with it being the predicament I'm in at the moment, I feel a little bit bad just closing it for tonight and doing the one tomorrow evening.
I think 2 hours is a good time anyway. Definitely.
Yeah.
Guys, it's wonderful to see you both together there on the couch, and it's cool, man. I wish you weren't there, really.
I wish you were as well, mate. We will get an opportunity where we get all of us together.
Yeah, that would be so rad, man. That would be cool.
We'll get it done.
In Amsterdam in a coffee bar.
And it's looking like it might be Amsterdam at Beach.
Coffee bar?
I'll have to get a passport.
I'd say you're hookers.
What I'll do, I'll just say good night to everyone on the chat room on that, and what I'll do the usual, and we'll hang around for a couple of minutes while I was joined, and that's alright.
Aye, fuck that.
We'll have a backstage chat if that's alright with everyone.
And just to let everybody know, Kip's fucking cool, and as far as we know, I mean,
As far as we know, he's alright. We've seen him post,
aye,
but he's replied to one of my messages, and I'm hopefully we'll see him tomorrow.
Fuck man, she'll be back when he's back, not me, he'll be back soon, so,
Yep.
If not, I'm up here, so I'll be banging on his door.
yep.
He'll no answer it.
That's it, I've not come all the way up here for not seeing, man.
He won't answer.
Cool.
It's been 12 months since we were last together, so
Aye, definitely, man.
let's try and not keep it as far apart this time. And
Hey,
then
if he's not at home, he's at his missus. So,
we'll find him.
for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
You give him a warning call first and tell him we're at the bottom with elephant's foot coming through the door. Right. Everyone in chat room, thanks for joining us. We'll probably see you tomorrow evening if we don't plan anything during the day. Right, thank everybody for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, then.